I'm a Dark Season Cyclones fan, and the wackiest position change in college football is happening at Iowa State. We'll talk about what it is right after this. My name's Jamal. Welcome back to Cyclone Kingdom, and we are in the midst of fall camp for Cyclone football. Week 2 has just concluded, and the Cyclones take the field against SEMO in just under 3 weeks. We are right there. I mean, it is the end of summer. Might still be a little bit hot outside, but it is starting to feel like fall and football everywhere else. Let's talk about fall camp a little bit and the intel that we're getting. Cyclone Central has some people actually pretty close to the ISU program that are feeding us some intel. So stay tuned for all the updates on that. And then also make sure you like and subscribe for all Chiefs and Cyclones content here at Cyclone Kingdom. And like and subscribe to the Iowa State Cyclones podcast over at Cyclone Central. Rylan Barnes, linebacker that we've discussed as part of the linebacker preview, is making a shift from one position to another. He's actually flipping sides of the ball. The reason for this, according to our sources inside the program, is that he is not getting a lot of time at linebacker. The reason for that, the room is very loaded. We've talked tons about how many guys can go make plays for Iowa State and the speed that's there and all those things. So Barnes realized, as a guy that played a lot in the 24 team because of injury and then didn't really have the best season in 2025, that in order for him to be a part of this football team, he might need to switch roles. Think of Benny Nagoye going from wide receiver to D-back. The opposite's happening now for Rylan Barnes. He's going from linebacker to fullback and tight end. Now, how much will he play there? It's unclear. It's unclear what is going to happen with him now that he's on the offense. But I love Rylan. I love everything he stands for Iowa State. His family has a farm called Barnes Farms, named after their last name. And their logos for their farm business on hats and everything looks like an Iowa State Cyclones logo. It's incredible. The whole family is a Cyclone family. Barnes loved the opportunity to play for the Cyclones. I believe he was a walk-on and got to play for Iowa State, and he's living out his dream. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he progresses on the offensive end. Jamal Polite, the guy who's made the one-hand catches, the guy that's gone viral on social media for Iowa State and college football in general, is running with the ones, guys. He's not just another freshman. All the hype that we're hearing from Jimmy Rogers and Tyler Roll about these freshman wide receivers isn't just smoke. There's real fire to it. There's a real tangible feeling that some of these guys are going to be able to start with the ones, and Jamal Polite's in that category. Whose spot does he take? We've talked about Evan Boyd, Cody Jackson, Dominic Overby, right? Whose spot does he take as that starter? Is one of those guys regressing? Because Jamal Polite clearly is making plays enough that our sources inside the program are saying this guy's running with the ones. What about Aiden Flora and Cam Petaway, the position battle going on there for running back? Sources say that Petaway is actually going to be the running back one going into the season. I found that very interesting because everything that we've heard about Aiden Flora and about how big he's gotten and the pictures that you see of just how bulky he is, to hear Petaway's getting running back one reps means Petaway's clearly doing something right. It doesn't mean Flora's not going to be a part of the running game, but it does mean that Flora will be the change of pace guy instead of vice versa with what we initially thought. Again, what role does Arnold Barnes play into that? Unclear to say, but he clearly is a third down back. He's a bigger back. We've talked about him a little bit, but he will be a good change of pace to get that first down on those third and short situations. I like Petaway in what he brings to the running back room because he's only going to be on kick returns. Flora will be on punt returns. He might do some kick returns as well. It seems like Flora will be more of that special teams gadget guy to then intersperse within the offense, whereas Petaway will return kicks and then also be on as running back one. What else do we think about, or what else have we heard about week 2 of fall camp? Because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on within the Cyclone program and a lot of exciting things going on. It seems like Seth Johnson, David Coffey are going to be the starters. That makes sense. David Coffey's the budding superstar that I just think the world of. I think he's going to just have a breakout season, an awesome season. And Seth Johnson, we heard from a little bit in interviews with his media availability that he just loves being a Cyclone. He loves making plays. He loves moving around a little bit in the secondary. And I think that he's got a shot to cement his spot as CB2 when you have Benny Nagoy and Jaheim Singletary and Keon Washington itching for those spots as well. I think those guys will still get mixed in, but Seth Johnson, David Coffey are going to be holding it down in the linebacking, or the cornerback room, rather. Too many guys at linebacker. I don't think there's any more room at linebacker for anybody, which is why, as we mentioned earlier, about Rylan Barnes. Overby's injury, good to hear it's not too serious. Initially, we had heard, he's coming back from injury. He's been limited, blah, blah, blah. He's going to be fine. He's going to be ready for week 1. He is still taking it a little lightly so that he's ready for week 1. You want him to be as available as possible. He's a loyal son, forever true. He's part of the Cyclones for a reason. You're not just going to have him, get dumped as wide receiver 6 on the depth chart because of that injury. So you want him as much as possible part of that. You heard Seth Johnson say, though, that Cody Jackson is one of the best route runners on the team. I think that is very interesting because I love Cody Jackson. I've been hyping him up since the spring showcase. And I think Cody Jackson has a chance to go be wide receiver 1. We've talked about that. Dominic Overby's right in that conversation as well, though. And it sounds like so is Jamal Polite. So that's really exciting. Cyclones also released their captains for the year. So you got Flora, you got Jalen Rayner, you got Max Balloon, who I love seeing that. He was coming off injury, and he's inserting himself right into the mix of being a team captain for Iowa State. You got Bobby Terrell. You got guys that are going to be able to make plays for Iowa State, not just guys that are just random dudes within the program. For some reason, I'm forgetting the other guys. Let me pull it up really quick. But I love the fact that Max Balloon is a captain. I think that coming over from Washington State and the guy that he was and being injured and you're not really sure what he's going to bring, he comes back from injury and he's clearly asserting his leadership role. Jake Taylor is another one that got announced as a captain. I think that's awesome. The O-line's going to need a lot of chemistry this year. They're going to need to grow up really fast and really quickly. And Jake Taylor can clearly help with that, which is great. And then David Coffey as well as a captain. So again, Terrell, Coffey, Balloon, or Ballin, however you would say his last name, Rayner, Taylor, and Flora. Those are your 6 team captains for Iowa State going into the season. How do we feel about the Cyclones overall? We're finishing up our record predictions on Wednesday on Cyclone Central. As we're recording this, it's on Monday. So on Wednesday, I will have my official prediction for your 2026-27 Iowa State Cyclones. Right now, I'm feeling optimistic for a winning season. I really am. Saw a video today of Jalen Rayner hyping up the guys and yelling over and over again, "Bring the juice." It's exactly what you want to hear from this new era of Cyclone football. Make sure you like and subscribe for all Chiefs and Cyclones content. We've been having a lot of fun this offseason. Can't thank you guys enough for following and subscribing and all those things. Continue to do so. Share it with a friend. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and I want to produce clean, wholesome, fun content about the Chiefs and the Cyclones for you guys as we get ready for football season. And this will be my first football season where I'm integrated and fully in as a content creator for Iowa State and Kansas City. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am. So go ahead and follow us here. Follow us on X and TikTok. Check out Cyclone Central. We got our family's YouTube channel as well, linked here if you want to check that out. But I appreciate you guys more than you know. And as always, roll Clones. And how about those Chiefs?